Well, welcome everyone to our first ever quarterly connections. The goal of these meetings is to strengthen relationship between parents and guardians and senior leadership at GTI. So I think the better communication that we can have with you guys, the better off everyone will be, and the better off our folks will be. Our goal is to fiercely advocate for strengthen and advance the dignity and opportunities for people with disabilities through services and employment.
Can you hear that?
We are honored to serve in that role for those that you love. So I am going to now step in and introduce our executive team. So Cindy Evans is our executive director. Cindy, can you tell us one amazing fact about you that most people don't know?
Amazing.
Amazing fact. Something unusual.
I have an identical twin.
Identical twin. Cool. Great. Dana Ryan, she's our operations director. What's something interesting about you, Dana?
Well, my daughter and I both were collegiate gymnasts, one at Michigan State and one at Michigan. And we have fun with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. I love that. Mike Moore, industrial operations manager. What's amazing about you, Mike?
Probably the unique thing that most people would know about, or maybe on the license called guide.
Explain a little bit about that. What is involved with being a guide?
People draw tags in Michigan. There's very few of them. A couple 100, 250 each year, and they guides, if they wish, take them out and show them out. And hopefully they, yeah, so we spend
Great. And you did that this past year, and it was a successful hunt.
Yes.
Okay. So any elk hunters out there, this is your guy over here.
Maybe someday.
Jessica Schrum, our controller. She does all of our financial management. What is something amazing about you, Jessica?
When I'm not playing with numbers, I love the arts. And when I was in school, I was Annie in my high school musical, Annie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like singing and all of that.
It's the song.
Wow. She is a star. She is a star. Next up, me. My name is Micah Haven. I'm the program director here. And a fun fact about me is I love fantasy adventure stories. And I have a life-size Hobbit door in my backyard. Yes. So I can show you.
What?
Has anybody seen Lord of the Rings? Am I the only one? Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. I'm so glad. Yes.
Do you have to jump to get into it?
Okay. It's not an actual room. It's just a facade. So, but it's actually like 3 feet, like 4 feet high. It's like a legit Hobbit door. Very cool. Yeah. I'm doing dishes. I look out my kitchen window and it's just this giant Hobbit door. It just fills me with joy. I tell my 2.5-year-old daughter that there's a Hobbit that actually lives in there. She believes. It's good. Yep. Becky Newman, work services manager.
Well, I don't have a Hobbit door. I guess I do some jeeping in the summertime, camping in the summertime. I've got 5 grandkids, so I do bounce around to their sports.
Okay.
So,
Okay, good. Alex Gunn, he was not able to be with us tonight. He is at a sporting event with his kids. And his fun, interesting fact was that he is a coach for his kids. He's got 3 kids for basketball and baseball. And he's also an accomplished tennis player. He spent some time out in California, and I think there was more tennis out there than there is in Northern Michigan. I don't know.
artist too.
He is actually a great artist too. All right. I want to kind of go over some of the services we provide. I realize, certain parents may only be, aware of like specific areas of our business, but I kind of want to give just a full overall picture of the services we provide
Do you want
here.
to let those that our participants introduce themselves
Oh,
to?
yes.
So we know
Please.
who they are.
Who are you?
I'm Leslie. I am a guardian for my brother.
Mhm. And your brother's in our day program? Yes, yes, thank you. I'm going to do my best to access everyone here online. Barb, can you hear us? Can you share?
Yes, I'm Andrew Singleton's mother.
Thank you. Thank you. And Andrew's in the work program. He also does activities. Yeah, he does have a lot of hats. His New Year hat was one of my favorites. He like right after Christmas, he was like at it.
Yep.
All right, Sharon Darga, can you share?
My son is sitting here with me. His name is Austin. He is the spokesperson for GTI and has, done some traveling and promoting GTI. He's really
Yes.
good at what he does.
He is. He is. Thank you. Thank you. Linda, can you share?
I can. I'm Linda Marshall, and my daughter, Brittany Rates, goes to GTI, which she dearly loves.
We love Brittany. She is amazing. She
Brittany
is-
loves everyone there.
Good, good. And Brittany's in our work program. She also does activities here too. All right, I'm going to switch back to our presentation. Whoop, hang on. All right, community work partnerships. Dana, this is kind of your area of expertise. Can you share a little bit of what GTI does out in the community every day as far as work is concerned?
Right, so as the director of operations, I work directly with our community enclaves, our work crews, as well as in-house facility work that I work with Becky, who's in charge of, and Mike with industrial operations. But we do have a variety of great enclaves or work crews in the community, both in Traverse City and Mansalona. So you can see all the wonderful logos that Micah put together. We're at Grand Traverse Pie Company, which we have a Grand Traverse Pie family member. Boy, I hope I get this right. They've been a wonderful community partner for years, and we do some packaging of pies. We cut out the little dough parts. We measure ingredients, and they've just been wonderful. They make our team members feel like part of their family. In Mansalona, we're out at Shanty Creek in the housekeeping department. That's seasonal work, but when we're working, we're busy. They also have done such a nice job of really including our team members, inviting them to employee dinners, special recognitions. They've just been wonderful. We have a janitorial crew at Goodwill here in Traverse City. We go to 3 of their facilities. Do a lot of cleaning, and again, another site that makes all of our team members feel a part of their team. You'll see CARE, which is Calcasta Area Interfaith Resources, yes. And that is sort of similar to what a Father Fred is here in Traverse City. We do have a few folks go over there and do some work, and that's paid work. So even though they're a nonprofit, they have hired team members from Mansalona to do a lot of their work in the food pantry and some of the other areas that they need help in. We are at the Department of Veterans Affairs here in Traverse City doing some janitorial work. We're at the Michigan State Police, again, janitorial work. We're out at Interlochen Center for the Arts. That's one of our larger contracts. And we're in the dining hall and food service. And so we're there every single day. And in the summertime, I think we have 3 or 4 work crews that go out and help with the summer camps. Super busy place. Again, another wonderful accepting organization. We just got an email today that they want to have a special dinner for our lunch for our work team because they're just so valued out there. And that's really great. We're at the Record Eagle, 2 of their facilities downtown and in the distribution center where the actual paper is made, and we do their janitorial work. We are at the FAA Tower here at the Cherokee Capital Airport. That's part of a larger federal grant called Source One, Ability One. And we have 3 staff people there that work janitorial and do all of the cleaning. And it is pretty cool. You get to go up all the way to the top, to the tower. Not many people get to do that. Amazing view. And then we're also at MDOT in Kalkaska. Actually, I'm sorry, I switched that around. That's Michigan State Police in Kalkaska, where we do some more janitorial work. So we're busy. And so at any given day, depending how many crews are scheduled that day, we could have up to 35 people working. And they all go out with a job coach. Usually the crews are about 4 or 5 people strong, and they're transported in all of our vans. So it's kind of quite a scene in the morning to see a fleet of vans going out with workers. So I'm really proud of them. They work really hard, and they really provide a valuable service.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. Mike, can you talk about some of the in-house work opportunities that we have for folks?
Sure. I don't know if everybody's familiar with the names that are up on the slides. Some of them are kind of behind the scenes. You probably heard of Lear. We do a Tesla part for Lear. It's a female part that has 2 clips that get snapped into it. And then from there, the clips are made so the connector can connect. Most automotives have those kind of connectors. And we do thousands of those every month. It's kind of cyclical because they're plastic injection molded. So they have to make the parts, and then we assemble them, and then they make more parts. So it's kind of a week on, week off kind of thing, waiting for them to make parts. But they're definitely a huge customer. It's great work. Headed online stores, probably haven't heard of that one, but if you've been here when we're packaging some of this, we get 20 to 30 skids of various traps, like fly traps, yellow jacket traps, just basically kind of flying insects, but there's thousands of them. Like I'm working on a number right now that has 6,000 packages. And there may be anywhere from 2 to 6 in those packages. So take that 6,000, those numbers they're pretty large. It takes us about a month to do one of those projects. Again, great work. Evo Queen, we whip candles for them, a jar. We're doing that project on the floor right now. They send us some jars and wicks, and we stick the wick in the bottom, put the warning sticker on the back, or on the bottom of the jar. Again, great work. I won't go all through all these, but Dayton Laminate in Manzano's, we make probably 30 different kits for them for stamping die assemblies, the parts that go for the stamping dies. Some have 2 in the bag, some have 8 different things in the bag, just all depends. There's probably at least 30 individual part numbers. Basically working on that 5 days a week. Herzog, we ship collars, dog collars and leashes. Archie's Dog Company, we pack dog treats, Bayer Recycling. We're on and off of them. We used to do computer tear out and stuff for them. They buy liners from us. API, we make boxes, roughly, American Commission Institute, 10,000 cardboard boxes a month. We also install a liner in them. They're shipping out for synthetic lab test samples in them. So when you go get your blood done or anything like that, there's got to be a standard. So they ship those products in those, and they ship probably, we make 10, 15,000 a month. They ship all over the country in 2 days. So and that's again, great work for us. It's all great work for us. And if you were to go back, say 10 years, these are staples right now, but there's probably hundreds of jobs that have came and went, one-offs where somebody calls us up and they need, something done in a week. It could be anything. And we get it done for them. Our folks are just awesome.
Thank you, Mike. So, would you say that we are always open to people sending, anything our way for this?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big part of how we get word. A lot of it's word of mouth. I mean, we have that reputation, our folks have that reputation of just doing great work. So anything that you can think of that, we may be able to do in-house, out-house, either way, there isn't very much that I felt we haven't been able to do over the years, from soldering to pressing on electric motor armatures. I mean, it can be complicated, but that's one of the things I think we do well, is we figure out a way for our folks to do.
Mhm.
We jigs, fixtures, or whatever, where, you know, somebody might not normally need something like that, but we make that stuff so they're able to do. And the customer's happy with it, and it's a big learning curve for our folks, that's for sure. It's always a challenge.
Mhm.
You know, everybody has their challenges, so when you introduce, you know, these different companies and these different, you know, projects to people, you know, you can see them just kind of light up, like, oh yeah, I can do this,
Mhm.
you know, and the next thing you know, we've got, you know, 50 people doing it.
Mhm.
Very good.
That's great.
Anything you can think of.
Yeah, thank you. I want to touch base real quick on some of our community activity partnerships that we have going on. Maritime Heritage Alliance has been a great partner for our guys. Over this past summer, there was probably 8 different times that they provided opportunities for our guys to get out on the boats. You can see Ryan in that photo there, riding some of these like historic tall ships, getting a hand at the wheel. In addition to that, they also provided classes on maritime history in the Great Lakes. Our folks had an opportunity to build their own like plaque for a ship that, you know, was lost out at sea, and there's like a bunch of gold involved with it. Just like fun stories like that our guys really enjoyed. Norte has been a great partner for us. We, every Tuesday throughout the summer, they have adaptive bikes over at the Civic Center. It's all free. It's specifically designed for folks with disabilities. And our guys love doing that one. Cognition, we have a membership to their lab out in Beulah, and they have a ton of sensory experiences for our folks. Really, really great hands-on staff. Animals, just amazing opportunities for our guys. And it is a little bit of a hike to get out there, but it's worth it. And our guys enjoy going out frequently with that. Tart Trails, we are on the trails all summer, as often as we can get our guys outside. Obviously this weather is a little more challenging, but we love getting our guys outside. Dennis Museum Center, they have always been great with us. Our guys love going over there, and that's one of the better activities to do in winter weather. District Library, we go to several different libraries in town, and our guys enjoy doing that, reading books and checking things out. The other 2 projects that maybe I want to mention is Crooked Tree Art Center. We are planning on starting up a new collaboration with them, in addition to the Curling Center, the Traverse City Curling Center in town here. So with the loss of Lucky Jacks, a lot of our guys are missing out on bowling. So I actually just had a phone call with Kate, the director over there, yesterday, and she's really excited, not only to get a regular opportunity, kind of like the Friday night bowling that our guys have been used to, but also training time with our guys one-on-one. So she herself is gonna help out with that. So we are so blessed to live in a community that really embraces our folks and looks for opportunities to integrate, which is awesome. Volunteering opportunities, we're always looking for new options for our folks. Many folks who don't have a huge interest in work still have an interest in being active contributors for our community. So every week during the entire year, our crew goes over to Grace Episcopal Church. We help serve a meal for underprivileged folks over there. We also have a couple of different roads, both in Mansalona and in Traverse City, that we do adopt a highway cleanup. On Cherryland Humane Society, we will go over there, and their rules have changed a little bit since COVID. We're not allowed to walk animals and things before like we used to, but we can go in and pet them and visit them and things like that. The Double Edge Thrift Shop, it's a great opportunity for our guys. They hang up donations on hangers, and then the thrift shop typically gives them one item that they can kind of take home with them. So they love that one. Salvation Army, this is a newer one where we were able to be bell ringers this winter. So our guys love doing that, love getting out, and reportedly did very well. in their collections. So it was a good partnership for everyone. And Project Feed the Kids, it's such a great organization, and we're able to help package meals with them. So, couple ways to get involved for those who love what we're doing and want to be more a part of that. We have parties every month. We'll have some kind of big to do. So this month it is Chinese New Year. It is the year of the snake. There's going to be all sorts of fun Chinese activities, and then it will close out. I don't know if Kat Brown, she's a local dance instructor, enthusiastic personality. She's going to be leading our guys in a snake dance. You will not want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. Talk to me if you want to volunteer for that. And then if there's ever any interest in coming in to lead an activity of some sort, maybe it's teaching a craft project, or maybe it's reading a story or something like that with our guys, let me know. Our guys love it when people come in. We try to get as many guys out in the community as often as possible. But yeah, anytime we can get people in, we're excited to do that too. And then as far as advocacy efforts, I think it goes a long ways to maintain an awareness about what is going on, especially on the political landscape, for things that may impact our folks with housing, or even things like funding for our organization, and the direct care worker wage, which staffing is always a challenge. So we try to make you guys aware of that as much as possible. If there's something like, reach out to your senator, that kind of thing. So just maintaining that awareness, I think, is really important. So that as far as GTI is concerned, that's kind of the end of our little presentation. I would love to invite John up, though, to kind of share. So John's from Disability Network in town here. He is oftentimes the person, if you call me as a parent or guardian and have some sort of financial question I don't have the answer to, I either call up John or give you John's number. So I would love, John, if you could maybe introduce yourself. Do you have something amazing you want to share about yourself before you begin?
I knew that might be common.
Okay.
I'm turning it off.
Oh, come on.
So now
You got something.
I got a list. Let's see, I worked with people with disabilities for about 16, 17 years. I did work out in Sacramento, California for 7 years. Ran an independent living program, so that's kind of interesting. Came back to Michigan in 2018. So you've seen how they run things out there, and it's just really reminds me. I went to a lot of facilities called private industries. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not put that together? I'm learning a lot about you guys. It's a really cool operation. But we had a lot of our clients that were for pride. And that's local businesses and then parks and all things like that. Very exciting. And it felt like a very exciting experience as opposed to working at a retail, a boss's migrant. They felt like they were a part of something. And something was
Disability Network.
I've been with Disability Network for 6 years. I started out in nursing facility transitions. I've had some experience working with independent living, supported employment, but mainly right now what I'm doing is benefits counseling for Social Security. I run a program called Ticket to Work, but basically I'm a certified work incentive practitioner, a C with. I don't ever say that to anybody. It doesn't help. People are like, don't turn on my car. Basically, I got certified in 2020. Bill Zimmer moved to California. I came back to California. He moved to California. Let's switch.
That's awesome.
He wasn't still in California. So I took over the Ticket to Work program and the employment network program, Disability Network. Mainly 75% of the stuff that we do is just benefits counseling. MICA or some of the CMH clubhouses, or just anybody, hey, I have an issue with my benefit. I don't know what this means. I don't know. Why am I getting this from Social Security? I don't even know what type of benefit I have. Do I have SSDI? Do I have SSI? I can't work. I know that. Someone told me that 5 years ago. Stuff like that. It's like, no, listen, we're gonna sit down, we do something called, we're on Social Security. It's called a BPQI, another acronym, I'm sure you guys are. It's just the full benefits report of their benefit. And I can sit down with them, their family members, anybody, guardians, support employers, anything, to help kind of review exactly how earned income, employment can affect the benefit. And just all the great incentives that are available for people, and a lot of the misconceptions. I'll lose my Medicaid. No, there's an exception for that. Here's what we can do. I'll lose my Medicare. No, there's an exception for that. All these things that come into play because Social Security has a lot of things put in place to incentivize people to work. And what I help people do, I think most people leave like, oh yeah, I feel I can do this. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I was told I would get in trouble.
Mm.
If I work off the benefit, there's a way to get back on and not have to reapply, all these things.
Mm.
So mainly kind of like, generally, basically anybody that has issues with Social Security will help them. Even if they're applying, even if they're appealing the situation, if they got overpayment, sometimes they don't know they have overpayment, they're getting money deducted out of their benefit, go towards that. And so I'll help them appeal it, they can waive it. Just advocate for them. It's intimidating, you call Social Security, I don't say, hey, I'll get on the line with you. I know John knows I talk to these people like probably too much, but I'm really nice so they keep accepting my calls, but I kill them with kindness and it seems to work, just to wear them down. But so basically I think people look up for doing that. And then from all degrees, I help with a lot of people that I worked at GTI. And I know some of the rates and hours you guys have here isn't enough to have them work off the benefit, but if they're on SSI, it's going to get reduced by how much and things like that. So, but if somebody is making some improvements with their employment and being able to get more skills and are looking to say, hey, what would it look like if I start working 40 hours a week with competitive employment? What would it look like? I think I could do it. This is how much I could make. We would open up their ticket, assign their ticket to work, and then it was just ongoing support, helping them track their earnings, helping them report their wages, reviewing paperwork, basically helping them out with their journey, to work off benefits if that's their plan. I've helped a lot of people work off the benefit. Now they're making more money. There's not a limit to what they can earn. And there's safety nets in place that this like PowerPoint is just kind of a real, it's nothing fancy. We keep it real light so it's accessible for people. I mean, I'm just kind of jealous of Mike gets all the pictures and images. I'm just really jealous. But we go in, basically we'll go to the Life Skills Center, ACE, all these, and just talk with students, talk with parents, let them know that, hey, if you're have a child or something in your life, or if it's yourself, if you're on Social Security benefits and you're curious about work, because that $967 a month isn't going to cut it. What can I do to increase my income each month? I can meet with them, review everything, basically ensure that what will happen, what to do to avoid. The biggest thing is avoiding overpayments. Yeah, I worked for a year, and I owe Social Security $30,000, but they can get to that level. And that's just maybe them not reporting their wages, not letting Social Security know they're working. IRS. And then, oh, sorry, we overpaid you. And if I would have had them prior, we could have navigated it properly. And they would have, I actually helped some people waive
Men's groups.
Disability Network, we're a center for independent living. We're a small crew, but really skilled staff that we do housing, community resources, options counseling for hospitals, facilities. We have myself, George Gray, and Sherry, who are highly director, our benefits counselors. We're all trained to do that. Like that's a need, because every single person walks in our door, whether they need housing or Medicaid issues, they're also probably not on Social Security or trying to get on Social Security. So, with information referral, people can call and get questions or and we answer questions or give them resources. We have peer support groups, and that means anybody can participate if they need GTI. I'm seeing some faces on those pictures that have come to some of our events. We have a weekly men's group. I run it along with George Gray. We have a women's group. We have a video game group, movie club, karaoke. These are peer support groups that people can join in, either in person or online, hybrid type groups. You can check out our website. Independent living skill support, so anything in regards to that, transition services, self-advocacy, list of our services we provide. And the main one that we'll like to touch on is benefits counseling and employment assistance. So we talked about going to Social Security and getting your benefits report to provide a customer view, how income can affect benefits, Medicare, Medicaid. That's a program, that's Social Security program. That's for people that are like, hey, I'm going to work off my benefit. Or I am working part-time, but I plan to work off of the benefit. If someone's like, I just want to stay and pay, I don't want to reduce my benefit down, I can help them like realize what the limit is and how to navigate that. But if someone's like, hey, I got a job opportunity, I'm on SSDI, I'm going to take it because I don't want to be on benefits, or I want to have no limitations for what I can earn, or the stigma involved with it. And take the work, we send their ticket, we open it up. While your ticket is open, you're ineligible for medical review, so that's one of the benefits. And also, you get my support, I do monthly check-ins, they send me their pay stubs, help them navigate the work incentives, which I can kind of touch on a little bit later too. And SSA assistance, hey, we just provide that advocacy and support. Because Social Security doesn't really hold your hand and break down this information. You know, they do a pretty good job at the Sheriff's City office. They don't sit down with you and work these things through so you can understand. You check out our website, you can only make this amount. Everybody interprets things differently. The college person, they say something different, so I try to help, put together and it makes sense. So just like some of the, some of you are already aware of this, I apologize, but just kind of little summary of, about employment and Social Security. So when you go to work, you can keep your Medicaid and Medicare. So there's a lot of things, provisions in place where you keep that. For Medicare and SSI, you get Medicaid. If you start working, even if you bring your SSI down to zero because your income reduces it, you can still keep Medicaid. There's a provision called 1619B. There's also something called freedom to work, where you pay a small premium, you pay $40, $50 a month to DHS, and you get to keep Medicaid. So $40, $50 a month for healthcare coverage is a pretty good deal. That's why I tell people when they're like, what, $40, $50? I'm like, it's pretty good. You should talk to your employer, see if there are benefits. They come back to me and they're like, oh, okay. That's what when something's free for a while and all of a sudden you have to pay for it, it hurts, Anything goes up, but I try to put it in like a total financial outcome. It's like, if I start working, my food assistance goes down. Yeah, but you're making $500 more a month. My rent will increase. By how much? So sometimes people lose things or start to pay more things. I just try breaking out like, oh, you're coming up way ahead. So 2025, it's a new year. Each year, these numbers go up, cost of living adjustments. So SSI, which I'm sure a good amount of GTI participants are on SSI, or maybe were, or, everybody has different benefits, but
It's good information.
I think it was $967 a month. That's the federal benefit rate. If anybody is receiving more than that, they're probably not getting SSI, they're probably getting the other benefit. That's usually like an indicator, If they're receiving SSI and they're receiving less than that amount, that means their income is reducing it down, so that's good. If they're working here, they shouldn't get the full benefit. They're sending their pay stubs in, they're reducing it down. Also, if you have an overpayment and they could be deducting money out of that, and I don't want them to keep paying for that, so I'll try to help them waive it, or set up a minimum payment plan. Or if that's reduced, there could be something called a 1/3 reduction. That can be a living unit. SSI is for food and shelter. If you're living with family and not paying rent, they're going to reduce it down by 1/3. Help somebody out this week with that. Basically, he had to show a lease agreement that this son is paying rent to grandma. Son's paying rent to grandma $400 a month, all right, he gets the full amount now. Otherwise, SSI's for food shelter. As if 967 could cover that for anybody, you know, but, that's what it's used for. SSI is the welfare version of Social Security benefits. And then with that, you get Medicaid automatically. Once you get SSI, you get Medicaid automatically. So, you might get, the other benefit, is SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. So I kind of explain this with people, is just this is a benefit you earn by paying into by work. You pay into a FICA, you pay into it, you earn work credits to the point where you have paid enough into it. Then when you do claim, if you're disabled and apply for it, they check to see if you have enough work credits and you'll be able to obtain that. Now for this could be something that you get on your own work record, or there's potential to be able to collect on a family member's record as a disabled adult child. Mom and dad retires, survivor benefits, when he passes away, you can collect on the record. You're having the people and they're receiving SSDI, that's that report will show you that. You're collecting this on your dad's record, so that's important to know. SSDIs that will be a higher amount. It won't be reduced down. SSI is reduced down, actually later, it gets reduced down. SSDI stays, it's always that amount, but there are incentives and limits that you're up to. It's the better benefit for work incentives. You have capability to earn more, have it not be affected, and things like that. And then with SSDI, you get Medicare, Part A and Part B. Upon your entitlement date, 2 years after that, your Medicare will be activated. So if someone's on SSDI, they're like, wait, I don't have Medicare. I'll look and see, hey, next year you'll be activated because your entitlement date was 2023. So getting or keeping your SSI check and Medicaid health insurance. Now it's based on some things, you know, it's individual need. If not everyone disabled can receive SSI. They do a full review. They look at your assets, income, household income.
$2,000.
When someone applies, they'll look at the severity of the disability, the combination of those disabilities, your age, all these things. They do a review. And it takes, they told me 6 to 9 months last week, but typically 4 to 6 months to get a decision. They'll look at your bank account, being over-resourced, SSI, anybody that's got over $2,000 in their checking or savings, immediately do something about it. If they're on SSI, they have Medicaid, having more than $2,000 in their checking or savings means they're over-resourced and they'll take away those benefits. I worked with somebody and their son who lives on SSI, living at home. Parents weren't really paying attention to his checking savings account. He had about $5,000 in his checking and savings. You know, his SSI checks going into it, his parents, it's all the household finances are all combined. Social Security did a review and they went back to his bank statements. Each month he was over $2,000. That's, you always back a payment for your SSI. So it's $967 here, $967 here. So he had overpayment, I think it was around like $19,000.
Oh my.
Because he had $2,000 checking and savings account. They went back years and checked that. But the thing that's frustrating is that it's been $2,000, I think it was in 1989, I think it was. It's like I said, everything else hasn't quadrupled and increased in inflation, all those things, so that's so frustrating. There's talks of them constantly about trying to increase state legislation and stuff like that. For SSI, I think you can own a home and you can own one car. You can't own anything else beyond that. Because then you need to go over the asset level. So sometimes people are on SSI and they're like, hey, I've been here property, or hey, I have money that somebody's given to me. There's ways around it. There's something called my able account. You can put money in there that doesn't count as a resource, but that's the work incentive. So if you're earning a paycheck, earning number of the month, Social Security always looks at the gross amount per month, but they don't count all the income. They don't count the first $20 and they don't count the first $65. So when someone's making $500 a month, they'll divide that by 85, and I'm sorry, they minus that by 85, and divide by 2, that gets the countable earned income that they use to deduct from the benefit. The next slide kind of shows the math on that. So SSI calculation. So anybody working in here at GTI that's on SSI, let's say they get $400. I used to use Meyer. Meyer's like my favorite example. We have a couple guys that work there, and I go there 10 times a week, so I feel like I always just. If someone makes $400 a month at Meyer gross, that $400 isn't going to directly just be taken out of the SSI. They do these general and earned income exclusions, the minus 85 divided by 2, so 157.50. So that is the earned income that Social Security is going to count if someone earns $400 on SSI. So you can go to the next one. So then they take that 157.50 countable earned income and deduct it from your SSI payment. So if you make $400 a month at Meyer gross, your SSI check will be reduced down to $809, $809.50. And so that's where typically I meet people are like, oh no, if I work, my SSI check gets lower. I'm like, well, hey, listen, it gets lower, but you still have that $400 to add back onto it to show your total financial outcome for the month. So for that SSI, they make $400 a month, they're making over $1,200 total for the month of income. And then also not to mention those work credits you be gaining by working
Too fast.
then you can earn up work credits where you get to switch over to SSDI. So that's an option too. Any questions on that or is that any questions?
I have received a couple of emails
I'm
from.
going to ask Mike for a copy of all this.
Can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, it came to be as an exception to pass that $2,000 resource limit. So, well, what the heck supposed to do? I want to save up to get a car. I want to save up for school. I want to save up for a house. And the MyAble account is like, especially special needs trust, essentially, where up to $100,000 you'd be able to put in there, and it won't count as a resource. So, if someone's looking to save for something, that's an exception. There is an annual fee. I've had some people that have got some really good things to say about it. They didn't feel it was what the taxes or some of the stuff like that. So I'm not saying that's an absolute perfect example, but it's like, let's say there's qualifying expense to be taken out for. It kind of covers everything, but like medical, housing, school, transportation. I want to save for a car, but I can't afford $2,000. Well, family's going to help. You're plugging money away. You can save money up in the MyAble account. It won't count as a resource. So up to $100,000. I forget what the annual limit is up to though, but that will be divided by 2,000. So it's an alternative for people that want to save money for this. And you can take that money out and use it for those qualified.
Here.
So if somebody was receiving an inheritance of $40,000, they can throw that into a MyAble account and not.
I should kind of give that as an example because it's just like, this just seems as such a hard thing to come by. Like, I just got $100,000, I don't know what to do with, you know? And then inheritance, I think, was to be a perfect example of somebody that's, I don't know, it's kind of like, you know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How then do you go about setting up a MyAble?
So basically, the people that I helped with before, we go to the website, you contact the website, and they set up a private phone, they set up a phone call, and take your information. They explain how it works, what to do, and then I know people will essentially, you can link your account to the MyAble and deposit money into it.
Okay.
And so the inheritance is a perfect example, you know, like, hey, grandma wants Joe to have some books, to be able to take some classes, and then, you know, maybe one day get his own car. It's, you know, that's a solution to that. There's also like the special needs trust set up with legal services I know people have used in order to not have somebody who's medicated in SSI because of inheritance or things like that. But
When you set up a MyAble account, do you have to declare why you're saving this money and what you might be using it for, or is it just,
that's when you withdraw it.
okay?
You would have to make a statement, you know, you can't, you know, I'm going to Turtle Creek, you know, they're going to be like, no. But it's pretty general, you can read through it. Actually, like the website, the frequently asked questions on the website are pretty thorough, and goes through each thing. And it'll probably find something in there it's when you withdraw it, you have to be using it for something. Otherwise, that's why it's able to have this exception, you know, if you're gonna be in this money in that account, you're gonna make sure it's gonna be something that's really gonna be a positive thing for you. And that's for the education, housing, transportation. Things that you save up for to get.
Can it be for housing repair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, for sure, yeah.
And that's different from like a trust, which is somebody else would manage it.
Yeah.
And you can like allot.
Yeah,
And that wouldn't be covered by mine.
Yeah.
Like a trust could cover those things. Like I want to buy gifts for my family for Christmas.
Mhm.
The trust could do that, but my old, couldn't qualify.
Yeah, that might be something that probably would hard to be, I'm trying to think of the list, there's like a list of like 10 things that are qualifying expenses. I think getting gifts should be one of them, but yeah, that would be kind of like the trust with the attorney, because they always set it up, they have to allocate that money. And I always let people know they're doing it, and make sure that they know you have Medicaid, because the attorney's office will be sure that their policy there. Because that can affect everything, you know, it's like, but for my people, it seems like it's just a solution to be able to save and not lose your Medicaid and SSI. They are opening it up more. One of the criteria is when you have to basically have acquired your disability before the age 26. So you have to be at it before you turn 26. You can't have it on a later date. I think they open that up now. I don't think there's the age limit now. So now if anybody requires something, TBI in their 30s or 40s, you'll be able to use it now. So I think they made some changes to it to make it more accessible. So SSI and SSDI, completely different benefits, completely different work incentives. So sometimes people, that's why I always say the more before I sit down with somebody, I talk with them and they're like, yeah, I have SSI, and I go through all the SSI calculations, and you have Medicaid and all these things that and SSDI. Just for everything I said, I would need to say. It just adds more confusion into this. For SSDI, it's great. You're on SSDI. Hey, what are my options for work? Best incentive is the trial work period months, where essentially there's 9 months to use, not in sequential order. Where you get the amount and still get your SSDI payment. So when I meet with somebody, they're like, yeah, I started getting SSDI 5 years ago. I'm going to return to work. I'm scared. I don't know where it will work out. Or if I work and they cut me up my benefits and I get fired and I have nothing. All these things are set up to have solutions for. The trial work period is essentially set to incentivize people to take that step. I start working next month. I'm still going to get my SSDI check. And $4,000 working full time. Wait, this seems, it seems wrong, but that's exactly what it's there for to do. And sometimes people will have a high salary job and they still get their benefit for 9 months. Once those 9 months are ended, then no benefit will end if they keep at that level. But for this year, anytime someone earns over 1,160 gross, that would count as a trial work period month. If they're earning under that, it won't. They'll still be in pay. But if they earn over 1,160 gross, it'll count as a trial work period month. I track it with people, Social Security tracks them, and they say, all right, Joe, you've used 1, I have 8 more to use. Once you use that 9th, then we need to talk to them and see how much money you're making if you're going to stay and pay. Because eventually, they're going to be earning over the limit, which they call SGA, substantial gainful activity. If you're earning over that, eventually they're going to see your benefit goes into suspension. But there is a 8-year safety net window to get back on, essentially. So trial work period is kind of like not a set frame, but some people might use 2 or 3 1 year. It's a seasonal job. Like how Shannon Creek is. I have a guy that works there. It's like, 10 days with it, not working at all.
Yeah.
Once they use those 9 months up, they end up in the next phase, which is a 3-year phase. Oh, you're fine, like, yes. It's a 3-year phase, extended period eligibility, and then this phase, anytime you earn over SGA, 16, 20, you don't get payment. Anytime you earn under it, you do. So really, after the trial work period months are used up, that SGA amount is a really important number. If someone's on SSDI and they've used up their trial work period months and earned it, that just look at the investment payment. need to cut this down.
Hmm.
Or you need to reduce your hours down. I help a lot with that with people, but because it's like, hey, I got a pay rate increase. It's a happy time. Just be excited. They're like, oh no, now I'm going to be over. It's like, well, now you work 21 hours instead of 22. And you know, you talk to your employer about it. I can explain as long as if you're disclosed and you're getting consent to. But sometimes employers are like, why is this person only want to work 20 hours? And sometimes they might, if they disclose that to the employer, it's because they want to stay on disability. It's up to them to do that. They don't have to. But I can kind of help explain that there's a reason why they don't want to work 21 hours. It's not because they are lazy, they don't want to all those things. But once that phase is done, then there's a 5-year phase. So I tell people it's an 8-year safety net. You work off the benefit, you got 8 years to get back on it, and you stop working. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to take that risk. Lose my benefits, potentially lose my Medicare, I'll lose my job, and then, so expedite means you can get back into pay if you fall below that limit. You don't have to reapply. If you had to reapply, it'd be 2 years before you see a dime out of Social Security. So that's really important to let people know they can take that step towards self-sufficiency, and then just, you know, if it ends up not working out, they're not ruined financially because of it, essentially, you know. Or they can say, like, hey, I tried, it didn't work out, and now they know this information for next time. If they start another opportunity that arises, this will be better. Now they can meet with me again. I can say, hey, during this phase, this is how much you can make. What's Social Security now? So that's just kind of the whole summary of the SSDI work incentive. So really just set up to have people to work off the benefit, but then also have those safety nets in place if it doesn't work out, because it doesn't always work out. So that's just kind of a little bit of a review of those two different types of benefits and how it works for employment. And then Main Street, you know, here we can, you know, call our offices, any family members or participants here in this program. Even if they're not wanting to work about benefits or not even wanting to work at all, we can still do the benefits counseling and let them know this is what you get and why. And something's off, we should get more. This, you know, we find things that help time, we'll just resolve it. Yeah, so that's basically kind of what I've been doing now for about 5 years with Disability Network. You know, these work complaints.
Great.
Thanks for
Yeah, John, thank you so much for coming out. We are so blessed in this area to have somebody like John, who is, as you can tell, an expert in his field and actually a really nice guy. So thank you for coming out. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I want to make sense.
I did just want to kind of open it up before we close out here. We got 4 minutes left that we were scheduled for, but if anybody online or in person here had any questions or kind of general things they wanted to ask, I'd love to give them that
Is
opportunity.
there any questions?
All right, Austin's raising his hand.
Yeah, so going back to GTI, as far as activities go, I think I'd like to make a suggestion for the springtime when we get decent weather again. I think it would be a good idea to get a group of team members together and do a community outing out at the Botanical Gardens, because when I did our Festival of Trees event back in December, I talked to a lady who's in charge of it named Rhonda, and so she would be the person to reach out to for a Botanical Gardens community trip. I think that would be good for some of us to be able to go out and do that.
I love that. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, Botanical Gardens is beautiful, such an asset to our community. I will place a call and see if that's something we can get worked out.
Okay, cool, Micah. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other questions or thoughts?
Suggestions?
Suggestions?
GTI?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to see from us?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Thank
I
you.
remember seeing the emails about the legislation. Is there an update on like timing? I know public comment ended.
Or are you talking about for 14C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public comment ended on this 17th.
Yeah, public comment ended on the 17th, and it's going to be held up because of the executive orders that just went in place. So we won't have, answer as far as will the rule take effect or not, probably for some time. But the likelihood of that, this has been a long push for a long time to kind of move organizations off of the 14C certificate, in which, part of it is there's a lot of misinformation about it. There's a lot of negativity, and many of the advocacy groups are completely against the use of a 14C, which is really honestly a fair wage because somebody's getting paid by their productivity. But, that's just not how it's seen in the public. So GTI does use 14C. We have been working at part of our strategic plan that we set in place about 4 years ago was to move off of it. So we are slowly working to do that, and likely this year we will completely not be using it. But we are looking at how we run the program so that how we design our services so that anybody who wants to work still gets to work. We don't want to see anybody harmed in us making the change. But I think there's only like 5 organizations in Michigan that still use it. So we really can see where it's headed. And so it's just time to move forward. And, we're not making it a big public, comment. We're not going to be putting any information out there, but we're going to slowly work off of it. But yeah, it is a concern, and we do believe in it. And we believe it's an important tool that makes sure everybody has the opportunity, but also you have to look at where things are headed and be wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, I read some of the comments about, where's my son gonna go during the day? And I was like, what's there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear that you guys will be here thinking about like what to do when that goes away eventually. So that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, it's just for pay, but yeah, absolutely. We're gonna redesign some of the things that we do. So I guess you'd look at it this way: somebody may not be on the work floor for 15 hours to earn what it is they earn. They may be on the work floor for 5, but they're gonna make probably more money because we have to pay at a hourly rate, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on developing better programming that fills in the rest of that time with things like volunteering, work training, community access, those kind of things, so that they still have a really enriched program. Ultimately what it comes down to is if they want to earn a paycheck, we have to figure out how to make that happen. And it may look different, but how else, when we do this, how do we also add value to the rest of the time that we have with it, right? So we want to make sure we have really, I think we have great programs now, but we can improve, right, and offer more. So
Thank you so much for that.
yeah, no problem.
It's a great question. You're very informed. That's awesome.
Yeah, when I got the emails, I was like, wait, what?
It sounds alarming,
Yeah.
and because we don't talk about it publicly, a whole lot of people aren't aware that, it is transforming, and how services are provided is changing, and we've changed it. So a lot of the work that we do isn't even in our facility. Like now we have probably half of our work outside in the community, right? So yeah, but we are looking to make sure that nobody gets harmed in this, that everybody still makes a paycheck. But we may need more benefit counseling.
Pay rate increase, and I was like, how much would they get? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Such a, yes. No kidding. We have
an empty office, John. Just make yourself at home.
You want to escape.
Sharon, you have a question?
Speak.
Micah, is it possible to get a copy of those 13 points that we just went over?
Absolutely. I'll forward that to you before I leave here tonight.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Also,
I can't write that fast.
for Sharon and Austin, I can email what's up here.
Perfect.
If she's something more specific to that, I can say some stuff too.
That'd be great.
Barbara or Linda, did you guys have anything that you wanted to ask or you had suggestions?
You got anything to
Nope.
say?
Sorry, I was on muting my mic. Nope, I didn't have any questions. I found it really informative and I thank you all.
Thank you. All right. Well, it is after 7, so we will let you guys go. But thank you for attending our first ever Quarterly Connections meeting. We'll be probably sending out a survey at some point. We really want to have consistent touch base with you so we can share a little bit more about what's going on at GTI and give you guys an opportunity to share with us. So if, an afternoon time or morning time or something like that works better, we want to work with what works for you guys. So I'm sure we'll be getting more information out there. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining.